let me go right into Devon Archer. Have you been following this at all?
Oh my gosh! While I had other things going on last week, and it was tough to keep up with all the news developments. So not as much as I would have liked.
Sure. Yeah. Well, in that cell, it has. Well, I don't know about the Wi-Fi situation. Anyway, in the Biden's family foreign business empire, Devon Archer is ground zero. Devon Archer is the guy who knows where all the bodies are buried. Perhaps literally. We're not sure at this point. However, he was supposed to testify last week. He's been talking to the committee in Washington. He is not a friendly witness, but he's not exactly hostile either. He says he's just going to tell the truth. I have no idea what he is going to say, but apparently the committee knows at least his opening statement. And there are some things that he is going to say, apparently, that will not go well for the Bidens. Again, he knows everything that was going on. Now, if I were Hunter Biden, I would think to myself, I know I'm not suicidal, but I could be committing suicide by the end of this week. He says his family has been threatened. It is really, we are in the place to where who do you trust to keep you safe? Oh, don't worry. The federal government will keep you safe. We'll keep you safe, all right. No, thank you. Who keeps you safe at this point? So who knows what he's going to say? But here are the questions that can be asked. Why did Betrina hire Hunter Biden in April 2014 on the eve of his father's vice presidency? His dad makes his first major visit to Ukraine. What did Archer believe the firm wanted from Hunter Biden being on its board and working as one of its lawyers? It's a really good question to ask about the hiring of a crack and hooker addict. I think that's fair. He'll know. What did Joe Biden know about Hunter's business dealings in China, Ukraine, Romania, and Russia? Apparently, there were several parties, apparently several board meetings that Devon Archer knows happened and was there for those meetings. Why did Joe Biden phone in to some of the Betrina board meetings and specifically phone in to the December 2015 meeting in Dubai when the firm was panicked that Shokin, the Ukrainian prosecutor, was escalating his probe of the Ukrainian firm? That one is really important. I have no idea of my son's business dealings, but I happened to call in to a Betrina board meeting. What, to say hi? Hey, I hate to interrupt your board meeting. Son, I just want to know, how are you? Are you okay? Is everything all right? Are you still making it with the hookers? Do you need more money? What was that conversation?
It's like one of those.
If it wasn't about the business dealings.
Those old school party lines, Glenn. You remember you could just call in and you wouldn't know necessarily who was on. It was just a bunch of people. And sometimes it's the Betrina board meeting. You don't know.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Why did the Chinese approach Hunter Biden and Devon Archer in 2013 to form a joint investment firm? And what did the Chinese say they wanted out of the relationship? This one is important. In 2013, they formed this new investment house. And immediately the Chinese are like, where are we going to put all this money? We have so much money. We need somebody who's on the cutting edge of investing, somebody who has a really good track record. Oh, I know. How about the Goldman Sachs? No. We need somebody new. Hey, how about a crack addict and his friend who have no experience at all? There's a good idea. Let's give them more access to our market than anyone, including Bank of America, Citibank, and all the others. Let's give them more access and more money than anyone else in the world. Does that make sense to you? What did Betrina once the richest female oligarch and the wife of the former Moscow mayor reach out to firms associated with Hunter Biden, Devon Archer, and other business partners back in 2013 to 14. And what did she get out of the relationship? Was Joe Biden ever promised or sent any money from his son's overseas business partners, or did Hunter ever confide that he paid bills and expenses for his dad? Did Hunter have any role in the tribal bond scheme, or did he derive any direct or indirect financial benefits for the companies involved in it? Now, this one is important because Devon has said the Bidens threw him under the bus. This is why he's going to jail. He was ripping off an Indian tribe. Is there anything more politically incorrect today? Something that you'd know, gosh, if I get caught, this would be a big, huge scandal. I mean, it's like stealing money from orphanages. So he's stealing money from, and this is what he was convicted of, a bond scheme. However, the speculation is that Hunter was involved in that too, and it's a giant cover-up. We may find out today. Did Hunter Biden have a strategy of targeting foreign oligarchs with legal troubles? That's the last question that should be asked today with Devon Archer. Now he is canceled several times and rescheduled. However, they were pushing. It was quite interesting what they sent. They sent a letter on Saturday, which the Justice Department, it is my understanding, never does. They sent a letter that said, "Hey, just want to remind you, he should be in jail." Now, people are reporting this as the DOJ was saying that they want him in jail before Monday. The DOJ has said that is not the truth. So on Sunday, they did something even less familiar from the DOJ. They wrote a letter to the judge, a follow-up letter to Ronnie Abrams. This is the United States District Judge, Southern District of New York. The government writes to follow up on its letter dated yesterday, apprising the court of the Second Circuit's mandate affirming the judgment of conviction in this matter. The government understands that the defendant is scheduled to provide testimony to Congress tomorrow. To be clear, the government does not request and has never requested that the defendant surrender before his congressional testimony. As the court knows, to surrender and commence his sentence of imprisonment, the defendant must be designated to a federal facility by the Bureau of Prisons, a process that can take several weeks or months. Nonetheless, for the avoidance of all doubt, the government requests that any surrender date, should the court order one, be scheduled to occur after the defendant's congressional testimony is completed. Now, several speculations on why they did this. Why would they go into the office on a Saturday and write a letter that they don't usually write? It can't be a computer glitch. It can't be, anything. You could say, well, we were super busy and, we're just burning the midnight oil. We got these guys here in the DOJ that just won't sleep until justice is served. Does anybody believe that? It's the government. Why didn't they just send it today? Don't know. Then they come out and they say, oh, no, I want you to know that's not what that letter meant at all. Okay, so everybody was speculating that that's what that letter was about. And then the next day they come out and somebody had to go into the office again and write another letter that never happens on a weekend. Here's what I think they were doing. I think they were reminding American Devon Archer is going to prison. I think this was a discrediting thing that they were doing. So everyone could talk about Devon Archer as a guy who is going to prison. How many times do you trust a guy going to prison? And is he just testifying because he wants his sentence lightened or anything like that? That, I think, is as far as the conspiracy on this may go. I think it's just, does this sound reasonable to you, Stu?
Yeah.
I think it's just to get them to have everybody in America put him in the right frame, and that is convicted criminal.
Right. They have to give cover to the media to be able to dismiss everything that comes out of this.
Right. And to look good on the right side, like, because they'll say, and conservatives over the weekend said they didn't want him to testify, and that's why he was thrown to jail. But that was nonsense. In fact, the Justice Department had to come out and tell these crazy conservatives that that's not what was happening. And as it turns out, his testimony was either really bad, but let's remember he's going to prison for this. Maybe he's looking to suck up, or it wasn't as bad as everyone said. And the Justice Department knew that. And they weren't trying to bring him into prison. They were very clear that they said, it'll take months. We just happen to issue this letter.
Trying to cover themselves on no matter which way this goes. And, of course, the pressures are still there, right? Like, they still want him to do, quote, unquote, the right thing in their view, which is to protect. Whether that's still a legitimate possibility at this point, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's gone down that. There's too much evidence. There's too much coming out here. But that's basically their goal here, is to still try to manipulate the levers of power however they can to stop all of this.
Well, he has been, apparently, he and his family have received serious death threats. He has said several times that he is concerned about the safety of himself and his family. You have a skeptical look on your face. Why?
No, it's these things are very, very important, and they always. This is always the excuse, right? There's always something like this that is bubbling under. There's always pressures from the evil outside that are always conservatives. I mean, these things don't typically ever come to pass, but we always hear about them.
Oh, I don't think... Really? You think that... Because I've not read that it's conservatives. No. I haven't read which side it's coming from.
Right.
But I got to believe. I mean, if I'm going to jail and I'm testifying against the president and the first son, and I know that, somebody else that had the goods on powerful people just hung themselves... strangely, and cameras stopped working, I'd be very concerned. I would worry about my life and my family's life as well.
Oh, I'm sure in reality that's what's happening. The reason it's being reported, though, is usually the opposite of reality. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I would certainly be scared. In this scenario, with all of this that's going on, if what we believe is true, right, and there's so much evidence now at this point, there's so much smoke that it's hard to, dismiss. This is the type of stuff that you see happen. This is this fuels movies, right?
Movie stuff.
This is the stuff that you see. This is House of Cards stuff at this point. And the House of Cards is a good analogy because it does feel like we're a couple cards breaking down from the whole thing collapsing.